What's up, everybody? I'm Rested here, and I'm going to just cover a little bit of a topic, something I don't usually talk about, and something that it's kind of a community I'm not really part of. I've looked into it a little bit, so I can get a little bit of analysis of it, but I don't pretend to be any sort of expert. Feel free to correct me in the comments if there's anything I get wrong about this community called MGTOW, or MGTOW, which is men going their own way. And MGTOW is this new, I guess, manosphere type man movement, man's rights movement of men kind of pushing away from any kind of feminist movement. And I don't want to get in between that war. That is a massive war between those two groups. I'm not taking any sides on that. I'm not any kind of MGTOW. I don't profess MGTOW to be correct. I don't profess feminism to be correct or anything. I'm a humanist first. I want to take care of everybody. I want to see equal rights for everybody, transgender, male, female, everything in between. But that's not the point. What my point is today is I'm starting to get a lot of messages and emails, and they're not attacking me or anything strong, or they're actually usually very well worded, and asking me about MGTOW Hikikomori. A lot of these MGTOW people are telling me that they are Hikikomori, or saying, can they be Hikikomori? Are they considered Hikikomori because they themselves only work a job, leave their house to work a job, then come back home and don't really interact with a lot of other people or give a fuck about a lot of other people. And I'm not saying that in like a way in which they're like, screw the world, I'm a misanthropic anthropoid with nothing to say. I'm saying that they're doing that in the sense of like going their own way, like literally just being like, you know what, I'll do my own thing. I'm not really out to interact or bother other people. I'm out to just, you know, be my own person, do my own thing, and live my own life. And that makes me Hikikomori, which I have to disagree with. And I have to disagree with one of the MGTOW analyses that I heard of Hikikomori, and I believe it was a YouTuber named Sandman who made this. Sometimes I get some of these guys mixed up because they have some of the names that sound the same to me. Like there's one guy named Stardust or Stardusk or something, and Sandman, and there's a bunch of them out there. I try to listen to a little bit of everything on the internet. I'm not following or believing everything these people say. I'm just listening to it because it's something that's, you know, being said right now too. Like, I mean, you guys would be surprised. I listen to a little bit of everything. Like even people, I listen to people like Tommy Sotomayor. I like his stuff. I like to listen to his stuff. I'm not agreeing with everything he says, please. That can put me in a controversial situation too. I'm just saying I try to listen to a little bit of everything. I don't just like listen to only gamer news, only movie news, only YouTube news about Japan. I try to listen to a little bit of everything on YouTube because it's just important to me, I think, to keep abreast of what's going on in the community of YouTube in general, and all these different communities too. And that's why I just wanted to listen to that, because I had a few users comment on my videos before. I had never heard of MGTOW. Hold on, I'm going to switch the camera around here real quick. There we go. Sorry, I got to plug it into my charger at the same time. Battery's starting to go down. But there we go. Turn it back around because I think I was upside down for a second. And I want to just kind of answer some of these MGTOW guys. You know, again, nothing against any of what you want to do and follow, and you know what your life choices are. I'm not attacking that at all. I'm just saying the Japanese definition of hikikomori is to pull within your environment, and your environment being like your room, the only place that you've known since you were a small child, and not leaving that room. It's not even not leaving your house. It's not leaving your room inside your parents' house. That's the definition of hikikomori, not contributing to society. If you're working, you're actually contributing to society, because whether you want to or not, you're paying taxes. Hikikomoris do not contribute to society at all. And you know, I'm not slamming hikikomori. Some of them have some really hardcore mental struggles that they're going through, or some, you know, even traumatic situations that's put them in that situation that they're hikikomori now. There's some, I think, there might be some out there that are just plain lazy, let's be honest, but I think there's some that seriously have gone through some sort of social anxiety that's too strong for them, panic attacks. There could be so many different reasons. I'm not trying to analyze them all, but I am saying that what their situation is not ever going to work. Like, they're not going to work ever. If you work even a part-time job, if you say, well, you know, I don't get out of my house for 8 hours, I just work 4 hours a day for a part-time job, you're still not hikikomori. If you leave your house, you are not Hikikomori. Now, the most I've ever heard of someone saying that they're Hikikomori doing is going to a konbini very late at night, like 2 or 3 a.m. when almost nobody's there, buying a quick snack and running back in. And I've heard that is the extent of the most active a hikikomori could be and still call themselves a hikikomori by the Japanese definition. Now, I'm starting to hear that this is something that's spreading kind of around the world. And the world may start to come up with their own versions, their own definitions, their own borrow language. For example, we have borrow words like tsunami, we have borrow words like kamikaze, and borrow words like rendezvous from the French language. That is French, right? So other countries borrow other countries' words, and their definitions may change as it comes into a different country. For example, Japan has weird English words that they borrow that don't really work the same in English, but they mean the same thing here. For example, they always say the word high tension, and that means a kid who is happy and very excited and having fun. But if we said a kid had high tension in America, like, it would sound like the kid was stressed out, right? Totally different meaning there. And that's kind of what I want you guys to understand. If you are starting to hear this word hikikomori more and more over in America, or with this MGTOW following, I don't know, movement, whatever it is, then it might be its own American version of the definition. By the Japanese definition, though, it is wrong. Going to work and working a job is way more interacting with society than any hikikomori in Japan does. That would not put you in the same level. And also, I want you to understand a MGTOW analysis that I heard from one of these guys who talks about this quite often. I think, like I said, I couldn't remember the name. I think it was Sandman. It might have been Stardust. I can't remember which guy this was. I don't follow these guys daily. He talked about, like, his theories on why people are hikikomori in Japan, and some of his theories were kind of so-so. They were a little bit right, but for the most part they were pretty wrong. Like, for example, he said, one of the main reasons I think is that a lot of old people are taking all the jobs and holding on to jobs for too long. And I know where he's getting this from. I understand that there's a huge old population in Japan. A lot of old people. People live the longest in Japan. I think there's one other country in the world that only lives a little bit longer than Japan. And people do stay in their jobs very long here. But our unemployment rate is extremely low. We're talking 2 to 4% unemployment, pretty steady throughout the lifetime of Japan. There's not a problem getting a job here. Is there a problem getting a high-level CEO job? Yeah, there's not a ton of those in Japan, but there's really not a lot of those in every country. People always fight for those top positions. And yeah, a lot of old people hold those positions. That's not the jobs I'm talking about. We've actually got problems with a lot of vacancies in jobs. For example, they need more airplane pilots right now. That's a pretty damn good paying job that if a lot of young people wanted to bust their ass and go through pilot school and do all that, I mean, they could have a pretty damn good paying job. So there isn't a problem in Japan with people becoming hikikomori due to a lack of jobs. And that analysis is completely wrong. I just want to put that out there too. That may be a reason in another country. I'm not saying that can't be true for another country, but that's definitely not true for Japan. I just feel like, when you hear this word being thrown around, hikikomori, if you are using it in its sense of the Japanese word, please realize that the Japanese definition is very, very minimal interaction with society. I mean, to a point that the person who is hikikomori often does not even interact with the people inside the house he's living in, or she's living in. And it can be a he or a she. They're not even interacting with their mom or their dad. The way they're getting their meal oftentimes is the mom brings the food up to their room and leaves the tray of food there, and they wait till she leaves, and they bring the tray of food in and eat it. And they don't even interact with their parents. That's truly hikikomori. And there, as of right now, there isn't different levels. You're not like, well, he's a level 4 hikikomori. He doesn't interact but he still goes to work. There might one day be that, but as of right now, as of me making this video, there is no such thing. So I just want to better define that, help some people out who are asking that question, not slamming anything, not attacking anything that is whatever you're following, feminism, MGTOW, whatever side you're on that. I'm staying out of it, man. Don't put me on anybody's little army. Like I said, I'm a humanist first. That's it. I care about everybody. I want everybody to be happy. But I just wanted to try and explain my my view from Japan of what Hikikomori truly is. And if you want to learn more about Hikikomori, I've got a Dark Side of Japan series. Check out the one called Hikikomori. You can learn a lot more about it. And if you like everything you heard here today, please like, comment, and subscribe because I'm unrested.